The Joe Rogan Experience.
Train by day, Joe Rogan podcast by night, all day.
What's happening?
What's happening?
Good to see you.
Same.
We were just talking. Sorry, I had to pause Jamie before the podcast. So you were telling me that LeBron James is not going to go back to the Lakers.
Yes,
How old is he now?
41.
41.
Yeah.
What is like the oldest that an elite athlete has been?
Tom Brady's 44, I think. NFL QB. That'd be pretty high up there.
How old was Kareem?
That's a good question. How old was
then-
Kareem when he retired?
Bernard Hopkins, I think, would be the next.
Bernard Hopkins is number one.
Yeah, Bernard definitely.
We were
had-
talking about how he beat Kelly Pavlich at 42.
But Bernard had a couple of years to incubate a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know about that. Yeah. Not take damage and
Yeah.
steal up the mind. He had the most intense discipline. That guy never got out of shape, which is also a giant contributor to longevity. Never was building back. You know, he wasn't like a 42-year-old who was like, you know, he took 6 months off. I haven't been in the gym. No. It was every day. It was running, nutrition. Everything was always on point. It never varied.
Kareem was like 42, I think.
So he might be the oldest of the past guys. But this was before all the science, right?
Yeah, the science changes things.
The science. So we were just talking about the science. So, Jamie, what are they allowed to take and not allowed to take?
I don't know. It's like the NBA used to, like, I think for like weed stuff, they used to say that it's like they'd get tested, I think, like October 1st, which is like right when preseason starts.
For weed?
Yeah, and so like as long as you were clean on October 1st, then you're good because they wouldn't test you the rest of the year.
That's ridiculous.
But now I know in the NFL, if you have a crazy game, you're gonna get tested the next day. They're just gonna check you for what was going on with you yesterday.
Yeah, why would you play good? Ridiculous.
I don't think the NBA does that specifically, but I don't know, honestly.
So what are the rules in the
Not
NBA in
exactly.
terms of marijuana now? I thought that was part of the thing that they negotiated in the contract to make sure, because a lot of players like to be high when they play.
I think they might just have stopped testing for it is all.
I want to mention
I'm
names,
looking.
but I'm friends with some guys, and they tell me they can't play unless they're high. That's the same thing with pool players. I know a lot of pool players. They like to get lit before they get on the table.
Yeah, you should be lit playing pool.
Yeah, you feel things better. Here we go. NBA can randomly drug test each player up to 4 times during the season and 2 times in the offseason, with additional tests allowed anytime there is reasonable cause. But marijuana is no longer part of the standard testing panel. Yes, sir. Yeah, so they can smoke weed, which makes sense. Let them. It's not, what are you doing? It's not hurting anybody, and they'd play better with it. I think leave them alone. That's what I think. Unless they're doing meth, unless they're doing, you know what I mean?
They also had another big betting scandal that's kind of broken recently in the
Oh,
last
no.
24 hours there,
Oh,
where a
no.
player has been called out for throwing at least 4 games. And then where that's going to go from here is kind of being speculated online. 'Cause
I'll tell you
some
where that
friends
goes.
listen.
If people find out, that goes to bullets. That's the problem. The problem with someone throwing a game is somebody bet on that fucking game. A lot
Actually,
of people bet on
the
that
2
game.
cases I've seen, though, are like the overs. Like they had player props, and like he needed 4.5 rebounds, and he has 4, and he's just trying extremely, extremely, extremely hard to get that extra rebound, which is like, oh, it's wrong.
Wait
That's
a minute.
not that bad.
That means he's playing well.
And the other one, which was he was fixing a spread at like in the last second. Like he sprinted down the court to get an extra basket with like 3 seconds on the clock when they were down by 10 or 7 technically to beat the 8.5-point spread.
Yeah, but so what? He's just scoring.
That's,
How can you ever?
It's just when you watch basketball enough, you go like that doesn't happen that often. Why would he do that? And then
That's
you like look
gross.
into it.
Yeah,
And it turns
especially
out-
you used to people throwing the ball in the
Yeah,
air,
yeah,
just
yeah.
throwing it down there, not you running down.
I know, but if you can do it and score, why
They
wouldn't
have,
you
like-
do it? I don't even understand
But
why
you-
anybody would question that.
You down by 10. It's 5
over.
seconds to go. The
Fuck
game
you!
is
I want that
over.
ball in the net. Fuck you,
man.
Woof.
No, what? Why? Because that's not going to change. Oh, we lost by 8.
Well, it just means
it's
you're
over.
competitive to the end. You never give up,
And you-
even though you know you're losing.
And no starters on the floor at this time. You down by 10. It's 5 seconds to go. No starters on the
Yeah,
floor.
but how? But it's not like he's missing on purpose. So
All
it's
right.
one thing if the guy's like missing on purpose, but if he's scoring on purpose,
5
leave him the
five-
How about
fuck alone.
all right? So similar thing. World Cup just happened like 2-3 nights ago, where they just got into the knockout round. You know, so the big tournament was every team plays 3 games to figure out where you end up to play the next part of the tournament. 10 teams get eliminated. Third place teams for the first time ever can make it through. And so there was I think it was Algeria, and I forget the other team. Sorry, but if they both tied, they both moved through. if one team wins and one team loses, one team goes through. And then with 4 minutes to go in the game, they're kind of just passing the ball around. The score is tied, and one team goes ahead and scores. And it kind of starts a fight on the field where you see the other team yelling at the other team like, "Fuck you!" Like, I don't know exactly what they're saying, but like what, like. And then with like 2 minutes to go, the other team sort of just stops playing defense and kind of seems to like let them score.
Oh God!
It's like I don't know if it's a big collusion or if they just were like made an agreement or.
Don't they have mics on those guys?
It's such a crazy...
They have to have mics on somebody. They have strong mics now, and they have people that can lip read. They can pick up, "Hey, motherfucker, you're supposed to leave this a tie."
Yeah.
If that happens, like, you can't play anymore, right? Like, what happens to those guys? They have to get suspended for...
That'd be both teams, the coaches, it'd be everybody.
Oh, my
I don't
God.
know. I don't really know how it's going to pan out, but it was very...
What a conundrum.
Yeah.
How could you do that? Like, I hate that. This is what I don't like about sports betting. Not that, because that's about advancing, but about sports betting is even the consideration that a person is playing a certain way because they're worried about a spread, or because they've been paid off to not score, or they've been paid off to foul. You know, like the problem with these things is you could bet on anything.
You can bet on anything now.
Anything. So if you're a crooked and. What has been like the most crooked aspect of the fucking human race over the past like 100 years, other than the legal system? The most crooked aspect has been sports betting. It's always crooked.
Sports and politics. They damn near.
They're all the same.
Yeah, they're the same.
It's the same. It's money. It's anytime there's money involved, and decisions can be shifted, influence can be used to make something happen.
But it seems like that with most things that people, have some type of hierarchy desire for. They
100%.
They gonna put something in, like even with like awards and this is who can promote the best and who can, if you can take all the people that vote to dinner and smooze them at dinner, it's gonna be a thing where who's going to beat you when you got all the voters.
Right.
Or you have a situation where you have people that work for your company that can vote. You know what I'm saying? How are you not going to vote for the project that the company put out?
Right. Yeah.
We got 60 voters, so we at least got 60 votes.
I think you said it best when you said hierarchy. That's really what it is. It's in anything that has any kind of a hierarchy. Politics is the ultimate example.
Politics is the ultimate example.
But there's that hierarchy shit in everything in the world. Everything. And it trips people up.
But with politics, it is a little more detrimental than with sports. Sports is, you gambling, people trying to win things. But with politics, it's like, if you're not, somebody that's not qualified can be in a position where, they making decisions on the masses of people's lives.
Not just that, they can appoint judges.
And
they can appoint crazy judges. Like, there's obviously judges, like, they have disputes. Well, why do they have disputes? Because they're ideologically captured on both sides. There's people that are like, like certain right-wing judges. You throw some case out there that's a right-wing case, abortion rights, whatever it is, immigration, how they're going to vote.
Yeah.
Same thing with left-wing people. Like, hardcore left-wing people, you guarantee trans women in sports, trans women are women. Let them play in sports. That was a recent Supreme Court order. 3 judges said that trans women should be able to play in women's sports. The rest of them said, fuck no. The other 6 canceled it out, luckily.
And, those people are not taking into account the sport. Like, it's a difference if you was originally something and now you playing as something else. Your strength is different.
Everything's different.
And, you don't feel that until your daughter get knocked out the ring where she's supposed to be boxing somebody that's the same gender. Then now her whole side of her face broke from,
It's insane. It's insane. And it's not cruel to not let that happen in sports. That's what Title IX is about in the first place. Give women the opportunity to play in an equal time as men. That's a good thing. Having men that think they're women play with women is fucking crazy.
That's
like,
insane.
it doesn't mean you need to cast those people out of society. It doesn't mean anything. You live and let live. I agree. But get the fuck out of the women's room.
Yeah, you're not.
You have a dick.
If you
get the fuck off the team. You're running track at a women's Olympic level, and you're 15. Why? Because you have a dick. This is crazy. You're not really a girl. This is nuts.
That's the world we live in, and I'm not even gonna say that's the world we live in. That's the world that's being presented to us at this point. That's
right.
And it's it's a lot of things that's like this, man. This is why in comedy, I choose not to go the current affair or the political route, because I don't have time to separate the room. I'm too busy trying to do things to bring the room together, and that's more of a righteous aim for me.
Well, I said this before, so I'll say it live publicly. What you've done is very extraordinary because you've made a giant following online completely organically. It's very inspiring because all you do is just do your thing the best that you can and put it out there, and it just keeps growing. It's amazing. It's very cool. It's very inspirational, and you should be proud of it because what you've done, like I said, it's totally organic. Like you don't have a bunch of production companies pushing you and trying to make you more popular than you are. No, it's all just putting it out there and getting this gigantic following just from your work. Yeah. Just the work.
Appreciate it. And then, even with that, you still have some type of responsibility to not see things the same as other people. Like I just got all this flack about me talking about how this business of people inflating things has caused depression in comics. That we're supposed to be a happy craft. But now it's this big push about if you're not on social media, you're not on this, you're not on that. A lot of these comics are, going through this mental health thing where they always sad about their numbers or, or this, that, and the third. Like, yo, man, it's a thing. And some people inflate things and everybody wants to be on the same level. So sometimes you can't be, or you can, but people look at it as a certain way where when you're proud of the steps that you've taken, and if I played in the G League, that's not the NBA. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't say that I played in the league because I know what the league means. I know this says this is the G League, but when I present myself, I play in the league, people automatically think the NBA. It's not. Right. It's not. No, the G League is not, and not knocking the G League, but that's not the first thing that comes to my mind.
Right.
It's just playing for the Washington Generals is not the NBA. Even though you played against the Globetrotters, they were great players. But we know how this game goes. But that's how people see things now.
Well, the number thing is real. The numbers thing is a real problem with people because it gives you a quantifiable measure of whether or not you're doing well. And if you already have anxiety, which a lot of comedians have, you're already like socially awkward, which a lot of comedians are. You don't feel accepted, which is how a lot of comedians feel. And then you look at those numbers. You're like, 2,400. I only have 2,400 followers? I've been doing comedy for 7 years. Why do I only have 2,400 followers? And then you go to someone's page that you never even heard of. They have 1.2 million. You're like, what the fuck?
And so this is about being grateful in the position that you're in. I remember when people was pushing me, you need to get on the internet. You need to be on social media. Okay. But I would see those people that had all those followers. And that same year, the year before that, I did a half-hour special with Comedy Central. Then year 2018, I did a full-hour special with Comedy Central. I had 500 followers on Instagram. I had 300 subscribers on YouTube on a page that I didn't own. I had to fight to get this page. I had less people on Facebook, but I was efficient in what I was doing. So the numbers didn't pick me because I had these numbers. They picked me because I came and I did what I did, and then he's great. So then we started going, a route to build it up, but we were already getting things prior to the numbers.
Right. What year is this again?
This is 17 and 18.
Okay, so the difference is that in 17 and 18, people were just starting to be aware of the power of social media, and then they were really concentrating on different comics that had a large social media following. I think that was like right when it first started happening.
Dane Cook had blew up before that.
That was a MySpace thing.
That was a MySpace thing. Yeah. Internet, another internet thing.
That's true. That was different. But the difference is, like, he had gotten so huge just from that he was already doing like arenas.
Yeah.
And so he was already huge, and then they just went with him. Like, but he was like super popular. Now it's like super popular on social media is one of the most important things.
So now moving up to this, because I have a strong argument with this. So I have a million followers here, 1 million followers there, all these specials. I still didn't get invited to the BET Awards. I still don't get invited to a bunch of things. I still get looked over for things, even though I have numbers and success. But I don't worry about it. I'm just I'm not watching to judge myself against what somebody else is doing. It's guys who have less everything, but they're in this realm where they had everything. I see guys that's at everything with no specials and no proven thing. They just around, and I'm like, okay, but I'm not. I think the point that I'm not judging myself up against what somebody is doing socially.
But that's also easier when you're successful. And you're successful. You're very successful. So the difference is, like, when you sell out these shows and you put out these specials, like I've seen your specials have millions of views. So it's like, obviously you have a following. If you didn't and you were doing the same thing, then it would be a problem. But then also it's like comedy in a lot of ways, not always, but in a lot of ways is a meritocracy. If you're good, people will come. Yeah. It's that simple. Fight night is here. Title shots, debut killers, and the rising contender nobody's talking about yet, and only DraftKings has you covered every step of the way. The DraftKings app is now available in all 50 states and includes all markets, bringing the game straight to your fingertips wherever you are. No matter where you're watching, you're always connected and in the game with one app. New DraftKings customers sign up with code Rogan, spend $5 to get $200 in rewards within 21 days. That's code Rogan in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Bet with DK Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-MY-RESET. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas. Bet tax pass-through may apply in Illinois. 21 and over. Void in Canada. Event contract trading with DraftKings predictions involves risk of loss. Availability varies. Bet to get bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Trade to get $50 in predictions dollars that expire in 1 year. Issued every 7 days via click-to-claim for 21 days. One non-withdrawable reward redeemable. Predictions offer void in New York. Ends July 19th. Terms at dkng.co/audio.
But I also have no desire to inflate things and compare myself to somebody else, or make myself seem like I'm more than what it is. Like, guys are, hey man, I'm at this room, I got 50 tickets sold. Okay. How much the room seat? Oh, the room seat 300. Okay, cool. You have 50 people more than than if you didn't play the room. You know what I'm saying? Because who knows you in Utah? You're built. It's a building thing. Yes. Like, I got all of this going on, but if I go to Utah, I'm in a comedy club. It doesn't matter what happened the night before. I was just in an arena, but in Utah, it's like it takes me back to on Trading Places. He said, hey man, he gives all this elaborate what this watch is. And that man said, this is what this costs in St. Louis. Like, I don't care about you pawning the watch. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have that. And I'm not, it's like you own a club, okay? It's guys that can come to your club and sell your club out. And then it's guys that come to the club and you pay for the room, okay? Then there's guys, like when you're in the theater, you can scale a theater down. Some theaters hold 4,600 people, but you can scale it down to 2,000. But then I'm not going to say if the room holds 4,600, I put 2,000 tickets on sale. I didn't sell out the theater. I sold what I put on sale. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not to the point where I can get to 4,600 yet. If I could sell the room out, then I would need to relish the real accomplishment versus the lesser accomplishment.
Inflating. Yeah.
And because I don't have this thing where I'm in competition with what happened before me. You know, so
with other people.
So I'm in San Antonio. We at the theater, and because people can make you feel bad about anything. If you a person that feels bad, just think. Minnesota. It's all these people that's on the team that play for the Boston Celtics that are millionaires. They already millionaires. They play in the league. Boston traded 7 people to Minnesota for 1 person. Kevin Garnett. They got rid of 7 human beings for 1 person. So it's like, if I was a person that felt bad about my career, this would make me feel bad. Like they like the first person that they also, okay, I'm gonna trade this person for that person. They're like, no. Well, I'm gonna give you 2 more people. They're like, no. And then, well, I'm gonna give you 4 more people. They're like, okay. And a lottery pick. Okay, I'm gonna feel horrible. They traded me for 7 people. Y'all didn't even want me. realistically. So Boston went. They got Kevin Garnett. Kevin Garnett and 7 other millionaires. They got all this money. They got all this. They went to Minnesota. You know what I'm saying? So if somebody wanted to make you feel bad about something, they could if that's how you are. So I'm in San Antonio. The line is around the block. The place is sold out. It's the same sellout. No matter who comes there, it's sold out. That lady said to my face, "You should have saw it when Matt Rife came." I was like, in my mind, I was like, and I asked, I say, "Was it a different theater?" She said, "No, same theater." So when Matt Rife came, he sold it out. I sold it out 2 days in the same night. But her thing was, "You should have saw it when Matt Rife came." I was like, okay.
She probably wanted you to feel bad.
I was like, but I'm not.
Good
for
you. But good for you. But the thing is, a lot of people would. That's what it is. A lot of people are in competition with other people. I think you should be inspired by other people. If you want to compete in that way, be inspired. But the moment you turn it into a negative, it's like, you're a fool. You're being a fool.
Compete in charity.
Also, inspiration is power. It's fuel. If you see someone doing well, so you see someone set and you like it, it's fuel that makes you want to go work. Makes you want to get some shit done. It gives you energy. It could cripple you if you're a dummy. If you're a dummy and you get angry and you get bitter and then you just put all this negativity on the person who's doing better than you, which a lot of people do.
That's a weird dynamics in this business when you know that it's going to be people no matter what you're doing, it's going to be somebody doing better than you. When I was in comedy clubs, I remember being there and they were papering the room. Okay. I wasn't saying I was selling out. They was papering the room. I know out of all it's 300 people in here. 240 of these people came because it was free. They sent out their email blast. But then what I looked at was they wanted to come.
Yeah. They wanted to come. They're probably comedy fans, which is why they were on the email list in the first place. And then those people, you give them a great show, they'll come back.
Then the next time I came, they didn't paper the room. They sold it. They sold the tickets.
Yeah, that's how it used to be, man. That was the old days before social media. You would build a market. So you would just show up at Philadelphia once a year. Show up, do your homework, like make sure you got a tight set, you've been practicing, you're ready to rock, you fuck these people up, and then leave. And then they're like, can't wait till you guys are back again. And then next time you come back, you know, all right, I built an audience now. I can't disappoint these people. I got to get fired up. And that's what it used to be. It used to be a totally organic thing across the whole country.
Is it a thing? Is it a difference, in your opinion, between me bringing my audience to a venue from whatever other thing that I do versus people coming that don't know anything about me and me winning that person over versus the person that already knows me?
It's a different thing. You know, people are coming to see you specifically. You've already won them over. That's a different thing. Or they want to take a chance on you. That's a different thing because I've heard about you. But when, you know, that's a completely different thing because you have an audience now. You have fans. When you are just performing in a club and it's a papered room, you have an opportunity. You have an opportunity to turn these people into fans. You have an opportunity to give these people a great night and have a good time. And also, you're doing your fucking thing, which is the most important thing of all. Everybody is results-oriented. I try to be process-oriented. With everything I do, I'm process-oriented. I think about there's a goal that you got to reach, but how do you get to that goal? The way you get there is not thinking about the goal. The way you get there is thinking about what you're doing. What's the process? The process is writing bits, performing them, tweaking them, getting them tight, knowing, reviewing tapes, going over your material, going over your writing, talking with friends, and then every day it gets a little bigger. Every day it gets a little better. Every day that knife gets a little sharper. That's the process. That's the process that leads you to become whoever you are.
And then you add other little pieces in that process. I remember I was talking to Bobby Lee, and me and Bobby Lee talking. I said, Bobby, you don't realize where you met me at. And he's like, well, is this going to be a good story or is it a bad story?
Bobby's got a lot of bad stories.
I said, you met me at the Houston Improv, and they called me and asked me did I want to host a room that I already sell out. You know what I'm saying? They asked me did I want to host. I said, cool. So I came and I hosted, and I was not trying to, but I was destroying his feature. I'm just hosting.
Well, you should not be hosting, and especially at the Houston Improv.
Yeah, but my thing was, this was years ago. But I say, Bobby, you didn't understand when I was hosting at the Houston Improv, I was doing something that most people didn't understand why I was even doing it. Well, like, why? And they would see, like, why would you be hosting? I said, because I'm not going to be in front of Bobby Lee's audience. But it's people that live in Houston that his audience that I have no idea who I am.
Right.
I said, Bobby, but before you, I say I was coming to the Houston Improv hosting for multiple people, and I was just winning over fans that would never had seen me if they wasn't coming to see you. They wouldn't be coming to my show. I said, so before that, it was you were last, Bobby. It was you, and the week prior to that, it was Mars Jabrani. And the week prior to that was what's my girl? Angela Johnson. And before that, it was some random white guy. I said, I just came, and I'm a comic, so me hosting was no big deal. I wasn't working, so I said, well, let me just come host it. That's what they want me to do. So I gained fans from 4 different audiences in a month. So when I came back, they was like, yo, I saw you with Maz Jobrani. And so I came back to see you when you put your show up. I'm like, cool. So my process, that was a part of my process. It didn't matter who I hosted for. And then I was like, okay, cool. You know, let me go. Like when I hosted for Bill Burr. Bill Burr was like, this is crazy. We in Austin at the Paramount. And I said the worst thing about this was that at the time I was wearing all black, and I went to the show, and when I walked on stage, the first thing I said is, hey, I do not work here. Don't, like 8 people asked me, where's the bathroom? I don't know. I don't work. But it was like, I looked like an usher. Like, I'm like, yo, this sucks. You know, but it was a cool gig.
That's hilarious. That's a smart approach. I mean, that's a great way to build, especially if you're already headlining. Yeah, I think that thing about concentrating on the process, people should try to apply that to everything. You know, my friend John Dudley, who taught me archery, he's a big believer in that, being process-oriented. Like, that's how you get better at archery. And he used to compete all over the world, travel, compete in archery tournaments. I think that applies to everything. I think that applies to music. I think that applies to everything. I think it's one of the things that trips people up about social media, a lot of these young guys in particular, young people in particular, is that they are thinking about other people, and they are comparing themselves to other people, and they are looking at those numbers. And you're spending all of your energy. If you have an allotted 100 units of energy in a day, you're spending a disproportionate amount on things that don't empower you and actually kind of fuck your head up. Not good for you at all. Instead of saying, wow, I am chasing the fucking dream. Right, I am out here being a professional comedian, and I have a real chance to develop a real following. If I put my time in, I put my effort, I really care, and I really work hard, I could sell out a theater one day. That's possible. Like, that's a goal. It should be a goal just like getting your PhD in chemistry or whatever the fuck it is your goal is. But the process is what's important. The process is like appreciating what you're doing, why you're doing it, and just bearing down and doing your best. That's it. That's it. And in other people, you look at them as inspiration. Other people that are kicking ass, you know, don't become a hater. That shit is so bad for you. I know so many dudes who have like hater tendencies, and they never excel. Never. It's the counter thinking of an excellent person is a hater. Someone who's always trying to diminish people and downplay people and look at someone in the least charitable way, in the worst possible way, to somehow or another trying to make themselves feel better. But it doesn't work. It does the opposite of work. It robs you. It robs you of your self-esteem. It robs you of your self-respect. You're spending so much time thinking about this other dude. Like, why?
It's a lot of energy. And my dad, this is one story that I did not put in the special that I should have. And my dad had all these thoughts, and he was. I literally say he was a crazy man, but when you think about the things that he would say, made sense. My dad, and why would you be telling me this at the age that? But he just gave them. I think I was like 11, and my dad out of nowhere just said, "You know something? People spend the same time and money on being fake when they can put that same time and money into being real."
Yeah.
And I'm like, I didn't understand what that meant, but as I got older. If you spend any money or time faking something, you could probably spend that money and time being real about something.
Yeah.
You know, why go buy a fake necklace to act like you rich when you can go buy a real necklace. At some point, and be rich. If you comparing it to necklaces, but I just didn't understand it at the time. But then as I got older, I understood like why put this time in to pretending when you can put that same energy in and then become real at what you do. It makes no sense.
My Uncle Vinny, when I was 6 or 7 years old, I was staying at his house with my cousins, and we were supposed to brush our teeth, and I didn't like following rules, period. And so I wouldn't brush my teeth. Instead, I would take toothpaste and smush it around on my teeth, and so that when they smelled my breath, they would smell toothpaste. And my uncle explained to me, he goes, I understand why you're doing it. He goes, but the amount of time that you're spending pretending to brush your teeth, you could have just brushed your teeth. And I thought about that when I was 6. I was like, damn. I was just a little kid, but I was like, he's right. Why am I faking brushing my teeth? I was 6 years old. I was like, I feel like such a... My Uncle Vinny was like super patient, super calm. Out of all my family members, he was the strangest. Out of all these wild, crazy Italian people, like he was an artist, and he was like very soft-spoken and never got angry about anything. He'd always speak really rationally. I was like, God, he's so smart. He's just so peaceful. The way he laid it out, he didn't say, hey, I know you're not brushing your teeth, you little fuck. Wasn't that. It was the time you're spending pretending to brush your teeth. You could have just brushed your teeth. But it was like, sometimes adults will say something to you like that when you're 6, and it just gets in your head, and you're like, whoa, okay. That just saved me a whole lot of time.
Like I can just brush them.
Brush your fucking teeth. Stop pretending. Stop faking. It doesn't help anything. It does the opposite.
Does the opposite. And people, the truth sometimes is hurtful to people.
The truth doesn't feel good, to a lot of people, unfortunately. But, you have to look at it. You have to have perspective.
But that's the ultimate hate right there. That's the ultimate hate, is for me to give you a falsehood instead of tell you the truth.
Right.
It's the ultimate hate. Like,
especially if you're making up a background for yourself. You're making up a story about your life that's not true. You're pretending you're somewhere in life that you're not.
Yo, man, just do the thing. Just do the thing.
Yeah, but it's hard for people. It's hard for people, and then there's a lot of people that think you just fake it until you make it. And then you hear stories. Oh, this guy, I had $500 in my bank account, but I told them I got this, I got that loan, and next thing you know, my business is making all this money. And you go, wow, he faked it until he made it, and it worked. And you think it's going to work. It doesn't work most of the time.
So few and far between. Then they never tell you that guy goes to jail later for fraud.
Yes, 100%. 100%.
The feds busted my house 3 years later and took everything. You're like, yo, okay.
Exactly. Like when they arrested Carlos Mencia recently for all his counts of tax fraud. I was like, okay. I don't want that to happen to him, but there it is. Right? I mean, that's what it is.
I'm not laughing at Carlos Mencia. I'm just laughing at the fact that you like, yeah, when they busted Carlos.
I mean, didn't bring me any joy to see that. I don't like anybody getting arrested for taxes.